So I feel like sometimes in literary fiction, there's like this seriousness. There's a lack of like joy or excitement in the book. And I feel like what I really like about The Wilderness is I can tell that you have a very intimate relationship with these women. Like that I am being let inside to these women. And even when they do stuff where I'm like, Desiree, babe, stop immediately. I like her. I want her to stop, not because I'm annoyed by her, but because you love her and I now love her. And so, like, I think a lot of literary fiction misses that piece of it where it's like, I'm happy to go with you wherever you want to go, but like, can we have a nice time even when it sucks? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think that there's a lot of reasons for that, and some of it I wonder if you feel that way about, literary fiction were people even really calling differentiating, but, books that have endured from, like, the '70s, right, or the '60s. I think not that this is not gonna be where Angela talks, shit about a bunch of, MFA programs, but I do think and people have written about this, I'm not the first one, that I think Brandon Taylor has, like, a Substack post about this that I've read before, but this idea of, like, a sort of self-defensive fiction, right? Like,
Mm,
a literary fiction that wants to try to preempt every criticism, like,
yes.
every bit of feedback, they're trying to get ahead of it, right? And they're also trying to prove that they have mastered the form when it's like, ain't nobody mastered the form. Like
Never.
that's not how the form works because it's, elastic and it's expansive. So that's the beauty
Right.
of you can just keep writing these books because there's different things to try. But I think that sometimes that can be it feels like work because it's like homework, right? Somebody's doing
Right.
this because they want to get a gold star
Right.
versus they have a set of interests. One of them could be to entertain the reader. Absolutely. That's one of them. But I have all these other aesthetic interests that in the pursuit of them, yeah, I want readers to feel like, wow, she did a big one. She was having fun, even
Yeah.
though the subject matter is not always good. She was having fun trying to achieve these things.
What other interests do you have besides entertaining the reader?
Well, the more you read, the more your taste starts to like outpace your ability. So with The Wilderness, with this book, uh, I had an interest in writing about what it feels like to be a part of a group, which you would say I already did in the Turner House, but what it feels like to be a part of like a group that has history, but it's not as like big as like a family's
Mhm.
lineage.
Mhm.
And what it feels like to be alive right now and to have had been in your 20s when I was in my 20s and to have like the outside influences. And I wanted to do that on an aesthetic level, like a book. I do believe that like a book, if it's a book about Salman Rushdie has this quote about like if he wanted to write, this is talking about the satanic verses, if he wanted to write a book about immigration or migration, the form of it had to somehow like mirror what it feels like when that book begins with some people falling out of the sky, right? And so similarly, this book had to feel like what it felt like to be part of a group, to be a Black millennial woman in the last 20 years, to be aware of yourself, but also like insecure of how you come off to others, and also the rise of like self presentation that happened over the last 20 years because of social media. So there's a way that I had to structure the book. Some of the things that you might, maybe in the beginning you did, it's okay, Tracy. If you found it difficult jumping around in time, also, it has to do with, I don't want to give it all away, but it had to do with the way that time has changed over the last 20 years related to our relationship to the internet.